So let's get into this Jay-Z interview. People want to know my thoughts on this. And as I said before, whenever you see Jay-Z doing interviews, you know that something is wrong. Something is up with Roc Nation. Roc Nation has went through some L's. Roc Nation is a company in free fall. They're bleeding money. None of their artists are really selling or really in success mode. The only successful people would be Beyonce. Beyonce is going tour after tour. She might be going on tour again. Meg Thee Stallion is she's not making no money. So now Jay-Z is going to be doing shows in New York, and this is his way of breaking the ice. This is like an ice-breaking interview. So we're going to get into this. Salute to everybody that's here. Make sure y'all like the stream.
It used to be like that. Like, you have to be super sure before you put those kind of things on a person. Especially a person like me. Like, even when we were doing the worst things, we were doing bad, we had those kind of rules. There was a line, no women, no kids. You know, you hear those sayings, but those are things that I took from the street. You know, morals, integrity, code. Those things I took because we lived and died by that. So it's strict for me. Like, it meant a lot to me. I took that really hard. And I knew that we was gonna walk through that. We was gonna walk through that because, you know, first of all, it's not true. And the truth is, you know, at the end of the day, it still reigns supreme.
When you're feeling these feelings, how do you then bounce back and get back to being Jay-Z?
I don't know. This is the first thing I'm doing.
Yeah.
Actually, it was just like, all right, man, we played enough defense. 2026 is all offense. Reasonable doubt.
Business is struggling.
34,000 ranking. We were in like at MTV, like, give us a performance in the last slot.
Yeah.
And they were like, what? You don't even have a video that we played. They ain't say these words, but you know what I'm saying. The energy was like, you're new.
Yeah.
Like, you haven't proven yourself. But in our mind, the fact that we released an album was proof enough of concept. We did it. That was hard then. We're not in control of distribution, marketing, anything. We're going like a street level, street team approach to this. And so when we put the album out, that was the win.
Yeah.
And when we had some success, and remember, on the streets, we were platinum. Anywhere you was gonna go, you was gonna hear Reasonable Doubt.
Did you feel that way at the time though?
No, at the time I wanted a deal.
Were you dejected?
I went to every single label, huh?
Did you feel like dejected or?
I wasn't, yes, I was rejected, not dejected.
Okay.
And you know what I mean? Like, every door was, but I always believed in myself.
Yeah.
It wasn't a moment that I thought, I'm not good enough for this industry. At every rejection, I thought, why do they have this guy in place? He doesn't know what's going on.
Like, they're slacking. They're not seeing the vision. When you look back at that time, are there things that you're glad that you didn't know?
Yeah, of course. It's almost like if you're in the room and you go through this room and you get to the end and you open the door and you're like, wow. And then you turn back and you turn the lights off and it was like pits and snakes. You know, your naive nature just naturally navigated you through the dark. And that's made up for the things that we didn't know. And it helps because you can learn something so much that you just tap out.
This dude, Jay-Z, looks like he's being interviewed by an intern. They went and got an intern to do this interview. They went and got one of the interns to do this interview. Because, you know, Jay-Z not going to want to take any hard question. But Jay-Z, we got questions. We want to know. Yeah, it's very scripted. Jay-Z, we want to know, why is it that Roc Nation, you in particular, are at a point to where you don't have any successful artists around you? I mean, I think Pusha's with Roc Nation, right? Rihanna's a part of Roc Nation. But you're working your wife into the ground with these multiple tours. And apparently she may be about to go on the road again, possibly with you. Why is it that, you know, you're sending your lieutenant, Desiree Perez, the government informant, to go get money for you? You still can't get it. You go to the Middle East, you still can't get it. Rock Nation is failing. Not only that, you had the accusations that were made against you, and the fact that you and Nas have basically switched places, because one of the things about the Nas and the Jay-Z beef was that you had all these people saying, well, Nas may have won the battle, but Jay-Z won the war because Jay-Z got more money. He was the head of Def Jam at one point. He is a successful, he's a successful businessman. He started Tidal, all that, right? Well, Nas, not only does he still makes music to this day, by the way. Still an incredible artist. But Nas has become a very, very effective businessman. He's had business ventures that have become successful, that has made him money, that has built up his portfolio. Not only that, he was able to get, he got the okay to build a casino. He's making those power business moves that people thought that only Jay-Z could do. Not understanding that Nas was studying. And he slowly but surely built himself up as a businessman. And not only has he, and again, I'm a fan of Jay-Z's music. I'm saying the catalog is the catalog. But I have to be real here. Him and Nas have basically switched. Like, not only does Nas have the musical legacy, the beef legacy, but he also has the financial legacy, because Nas can go anywhere and get loans and they'll give it to him. Just like they did with the casino. And yeah, Jay-Z has turned on a lot of people in the industry. Look at what happened with Rockefeller. Jay-Z will do whatever helps himself. Nas also got to go ahead to complete the Hip Hop Museum in Bronx, New York. Okay. That's the thing. Nas is smart. He studied. He took his time. And now you got Jay-Z in full PR mode, Rock Nation in full PR mode, because they're not the juggernaut that they were years ago. You had Rock Nation Sports, and Rock Nation was just growing, right? Well, now it's not. And now Jay-Z is going to have to go out there and pick up a microphone. Jay-Z made all these deals to help himself. Look at what happened with the NFL. I think that really, now again, I'm not the biggest Kaepernick fan. I've been critical of him. But he did turn on Kaepernick for himself. And you know what he said? No, we don't need no more kneeling. We don't need no more kneeling. We don't need, stop all that kneeling. Money. I'm here to make money. You better stop all that kneeling. I'm here to get the money. You up here kneeling. I'm here to get paid. And that's what he did. The NFL bought off the black community who are in support of Kaepernick, because once Jay-Z signed a deal to basically be the lead on the halftime shows of the Super Bowl, Jay-Z took the money and ran and said, stop all that kneeling. And y'all know what happened. People moved on. Kaepernick became, and also Kaepernick hurt himself because he took a payout from the NFL too. He took a payout from the NFL too. But nobody wants to talk about that. Everybody wants to talk about just about Jay-Z. Well, Kaepernick took the money too. That's why Jay-Z didn't feel bad. He like, Kaepernick took he got paid too. Kaepernick got paid. I got paid. Yeah, karma for you, man.
Freak out. We can.
It's not even God forbid when something goes wrong. Something goes wrong. Everything in life happens for your greatest good. Mm-hmm. Everything. I had to not get a deal in order to become who I am today. Mm-hmm. It didn't feel like the greatest blessing of all. It was the greatest blessing that I didn't get a deal, right? So again, everything in your life, it's not happening to you, it's happening for you.
When you
don't skip over that.
Yeah.
He's coaching them up in the interview.
Yeah, like the day.
The day.
Yeah, my favorite verse is off that, and I just see the world for what it is, not for what I want it to be. I'm a realist, not an ideal. It's not idealistic. People speak about the world how they want to see it. You're never gonna win like that.
Well, Jay, we know you definitely see the world for
pushing
what it is
independent.
because you're willing to flip on anybody to get paid. So yeah, we know that. That's why you've burnt so many bridges with people.
That's right, kind of like in the spirit of Prince. When you embody that, do you feel like you are kind of setting a mold or leading a charge for like what the successful black man is allowed to do? And like
Yeah.
breaking these spaces, breaking these confines?
Yeah. I even want you to take that out of your vocabulary.
Take what?
Allowed. You know what I'm saying? We're not allowed to do anything. You know, in order for someone to allow you, they have to have authority over you. No one has authority over us. We exist like everyone else here. No one can allow us to do anything. But that word comes from a real space. And I want to eliminate all those type of words for us.
Yeah.
Yes, so the answer to that is yes.
You know what's funny? You know, Diddy, when Diddy would speak a lot about what he was doing in the industry, he talked about black people and he wanted to do things to help his people, but he also damaged a lot of people. Diddy damaged a lot of people. Even the people who worked for him, the people closest to him, he was a danger to. And, you know, you got to be careful of people who hide behind blackness, because all the people who hide behind it the most have the worst intentions. They just want to use black people. So don't ever let nobody hide behind blackness. And then you look at them and what they've done, and they ain't done shit. Okay? Except for empower themselves. And that's what goes on.
You're on a mission to eliminate words like allow, like you said. Do you feel like that makes you a target sometimes from
Oh yeah, for sure, 100%. What's the Nipsey thing? Pray for me, y'all. One day I'm gonna have to pay for these thoughts. Real niggas is extinct. It ain't safe for me, my dog. These are real fucking lyrics.
You've come back to that a lot in the last few years. Like the more I reveal me, the more they will kill me. Stuff like that. When you say they, like who is that?
Whatever the threat to, however the system is set up to keep things at status quo and keep us in a position of using words like allow. So anyone that's culpable in creating the system that we operate under, that's they.
Yeah.
That's they. And it actually goes beyond color.
Yeah.
Because I've encountered that a lot. Where it was just like, okay, this successful black man, make it, let me go to him.
Yeah.
And for help. And they're like, you don't fuck with no rap shit.
Oh wow.
Not like out like that, but
Yeah,
you know what I'm
that's the
saying?
energy.
Like the energy. It's like you see the energy.
Yeah.
You know?
I was thinking about how you described last year as being angry and for the first time in a while.
Yeah.
I wondered what it felt like to be pulled back into that feeling and how you pulled yourself out or how you leaned on the people around you.
Yeah.
I've been saying to pull you
Yeah, I
out.
needed the people around me more than ever. Because usually when I have that feeling, I would just make music and just be therapeutic. I'll be able to, I bloat it out.
Yeah.
And I would be like, you know, I'll move on. I had to sit in that for a long time. And luckily I had that. And right, again.
You know what I'm noticing from this interview? It just seems very self-indulgent, right? And he wants to play the victim. They coming after me. Jay, you're a part of these people. You were hanging out with the Weinsteins of the world, right? You were in the Hollywood circles. You're not an underdog. You are the head of Rock Nation, a company that is being used to harm people, reportedly. If you look at what's going on with Desiree Perez's daughter, you look at what's going on with Tory Lanez and Meg Thee Stallion. Why do you think Meg Thee Stallion keeps suing people? She ain't got the money to sue people. Who's putting her up to it? You're not an underdog. You're out here making things worse for people. And now because you need money and good PR, you want to pick up the mic.